everyone, I'm Kristin from Paige Simple, and in this video I'm going to show you how to cut and assemble your printable party hat. When you purchase the file from us, it comes in PDF format and it's formatted for printing on 8.5 by 11 inch paper. When your file is printed out, this is what it looks like. So you've got, your party hat here. There's these little knobs that you can choose to cut out, or you can actually cut them off if you don't want to use those. And then there's a little piece right here where you can, it's the overlap in the back of the hat for tape or glue or whatever you're going to use to adhere the sides of the hat together. So the tools that you need for the party hats include scissors. I use tape. You can also use double-sided tape. I use just single-sided tape. You can use double-sided tape. You can use glue, but I wouldn't recommend it because it takes too long to dry. And you literally have to hold the hat together while the glue is drying, and you don't want to do that. And then you also need a hole punch. This is like a little mini hole punch. So the hole is very, very small, just large enough for the elastic, but you can use a standard hole punch as well. And then you want some just thin elastic. I got this in the sewing aisle at the local Hobby Lobby. Any craft store will have just the thin elastic that you need to, attach the hat to the bottom of your chin. So for this one, I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. So you want to cut around the edge of the hat, and I prefer not to have these little knobs, so I'm just going to cut them right off as I'm cutting out the file. I forgot to mention one other supply that comes in handy, but you don't really have to have, is a scoring board. So this scoring board, it's a Martha Stewart scoring board, and I got it at Michael's. Again, it's not necessary, but it does come in handy, and I'll show you why in a second. So I'm just going to cut along the lines of the file. And it's nice because you can have these little party hats that perfectly match everything else at your party. And there's some other products that we have that you can use to embellish them. So, alright, so I've got my hat cut out, and this scoring board comes in handy with this little strip right here. So it's hard to wrap the hat and get it to line up. So what I do is I'll actually score the edge of this white strip. And by score, you're just, you're making the crease so it's easier to fold. So I score the edge, and then I'll fold it in so it's a little bit easier when you go to wrap the hat around. And then you're going to bend the hat. Sometimes it's hard. And this is why I use tape and not glue, because the tape holds much better. So I'll curve the hat around, and Scotch tape, sorry, this one's not perfect because I'm in a rush for the video, but the Scotch tape does a nice job holding, and you can't see it on the back of the hat. So, if you're worried about seeing tape lines, I wouldn't really worry about it. It works much better than glue. So what you want to do is secure the entire edge of the back of the hat so everything's nice and flat. And if you didn't cut right or you didn't fold it right and you've got this little extra here, all you have to do is take your scissors and round it out. Nobody's ever going to notice. So now you've got this cone-shaped hat. You can also use these as food cones. So it's multi-purpose file. So you have the cone-shaped hat, and then what I do is I take my hole punch, and on each side I'll just punch a little hole, and that's where the elastic will go. So you punch the hole, and then I feed my elastic in from the outside. And because the hole punch I have is very small, all I need to do is knot the elastic twice, if you use a larger hole punch, you might actually have to tie it around the hole in the exterior rim of the hat, just because, you know, a knot won't be big enough to keep it through. So all I did was knot it on the inside, and then I'll do the same on this side. I'm doing 2 knots to make sure that it stays. And when you cut the elastic, just make sure that you cut it large enough. What I usually do is, you know, I only make the hats for the kids, so my son has a rather large head, so I'll usually use him to measure. But once you tie both sides of the elastic, you get your party hat. You know, and the kids can wear them on their head. You can, you know, embellish it with our cupcake toppers or party circles or anything else. You can buy the little pom-poms at the craft store and just stick a pom on top, or if you want a bow or pretty much anything. You could put trim around the edge of the hat, but there's so many things that you can do to, you know, to dress up the hat. And really that's about it. So